Greetings, welcome to Middle Tennessee. You just tuned in to Famo Garage, and this is for the Weekend Warrior.
Okay, so I decided to just go ahead and keep pushing. I believe this is a 12. Nope, that is not a 12 anyway. It's a 14. That should be a 10. Where is the 12? Okay. So let's loosen that and take that off. Okay. Take that one off. Not that bad. Not that bad, but that right there shows that it has some wear. We have new ones, and that's what we're going to use. Okay. I'm going to take off this side. Alright. I just got you kind of close because I wanted you to see where that bolt went for that one. That one kind of swings, and the adjuster pulls it this way, so you get tension. Now we got a bolt. Alright, so we're going to get this one, and it's one hidden right there. Alright. Okay, that was that one. And again, they're not that bad, but you can see the wear line right there. You can see it. Like I said, we have new ones, so we'll replace them. See now? You can take that bad boy off. And as you notice, these two were over here when they should be here. That is what it would look like. Those 2 points would be there. That one would be that dot. That one would be that dot. And you can see that that's there, and kinda, you can, there it is right there, that line. So that would be all that would be all in time, and the one on the bottom. This is a 14. Oh, that wasn't hard at all. I thought it was going to be hard. Well, let's look at this 17 then. See if it's going to be hard. I guess I'm gonna have to do that side first because that doesn't want to come off. I have to hold it and then put it in position. I'm going to replace. There's the culprit. There is the culprit. That pin that should be here is stuck inside the cam right there. This is the situation. As I said, you see that pin is out of there, and it should be in there like that. That pin right there. And then there. see what this is looking like. Now this one has this little plunger in there, so you gotta watch out. You don't lose that. Now, that one's good. Yeah, that bad boy's still in there. That's all we need to know. That one's still there. Okay. So that one and the new one, a little different. Kind of worries me a little bit, but pins there, holes line up and whatnot, so the depth is not the same. This is way too far down. This notch will never meet that hole. Yep, we have the wrong set. Well, I guess that stops that right there, because you have to reorder the part. That one was the wrong one. So we'll order a new part, and once it gets here, we'll get it put on, and we'll get everything cleaned up while we wait. And we got to get a new cam anyway, so there's that. So until next time, peace out. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. Parts have came in, so we're just gonna get started. I'm gonna go ahead and start loosening up these bolts for the camshaft, because we're gonna place this camshaft is gonna get replaced. So it's not a definite way you want to do this, but just break all of your cams. And right now, it really doesn't matter how you do it. All you want to do is break them though. Alright. Now at that point, you go ahead and just loosen them all the way up. Because what you're worried about is the tension, so you don't warp, bend, or break any of your bridges. Alright. Now that I got that taken care of, just gonna loosen all of these up. Alright. Now once you get to that point, you finish unscrewing them by hand just to make sure that they're all loose. Okay, now we're going to the 12s. Same deal. Didn't really necessarily matter, but get yourself in the frame of things, middle, out, middle, out. And the way you want to go is you want to pop your ends first and then come in. So you can go here, 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 and you just pop them, and then you come to this one, and then this one, and then that will be your last one. All right. So let's get them all broken. Your outside first, then your inside. I started up there, so I'm gonna start here on this one. And this one. This one. Now you can gradually go, same deal, just very loose. That should be all. All right. At this point, you can go ahead and take them all out, but don't take them out. There's your number 5, as you can see, and they're all going that way. So when you put them back in, don't put them like this, exactly with it. Take these, and set them out of your way. Make sure that you do it properly. This one I did not need to take out, so I have to put that back. But there you go. All of them out. And, you know, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science, all right? Okay, so just like that, Now, that notch right there, that notch, when it's all said and done, should be sitting up. When you're done and you're ready to set your timing and everything, these notches should be up when it's all said and done. You may not see them once you put these phasers on, but this is a guide for you to put them on. Get everything back together. As you can see, this one is right here. All right, so yeah. All right, let's get this out of the way. Now what we're gonna do is just clean this up. A little lithium grease. You don't need a go. Okay. Got that in. You don't need to put it on the top. This is just, you know, never want anything metal dry if you can help it. All right. So, new camshaft. Yay. Let's get that in. Alrighty. So, shiny. Yep. Now this one has a little baby mark. Little baby mark right there. That is the mark I was talking about, except this one is just really small. And you'll know that also from the hole, you know, right there. That's your main hole. All right. So, with that being said, let's put that bad boy on there. There's my little mark right there. So, and I'm gonna put the bolt back in. Yes, sir. All right. So now that we got that on, we've already checked the vanos front and back to make sure there's no metal shavings that fall in or anything like that. We did that. putting this in now. Now you want to make sure the mating surface for each bridge is clean and dry. Now, when you're cleaning this, make sure if you're going to use shop rags, make sure you use really good shop rags, the ones not paper towels. Paper towels tend to fray and leave a lot of lint. These will leave lint, but nowhere near as much as paper towels. So make sure you get some shop rags, things like that. As I said, you want to make sure that your mating surfaces are clean and dry. Don't lose your boats. I'm not going to show you this with every last one, but that is the deal. You do that. Make sure your arrow is pointing that way. This is your number one, and we're going right back in, just like that. All right. Now, you can just draw them all down by hand. So as it touches, you just stop. Leave them up, that way you know what you have and have not torqued. Okay? All right, let's do the rest. Remember, make sure that your arrows go in the right direction. Look, guys, to get the wrong idea about you. Okay. 10s first. Put them all down by hand. Oops, the wrong one. Play is messing up. That's why I said you want to leave them up so then you know what you touch. Okay. So once you get to that point, you just till it stops. Just till it stops. That's it. And you're going in a circular pattern. Doesn't matter which way you go, but boom. And then you'll be over here. You see that? That lets you know where you at. You start getting stuff squeezing out. I'm not putting any pressure on it. As soon as it stops, that's where I stop. Okay. Okay, so I have my torque wrench with my 10mm on, and I set it at 9 foot-pounds, 12 Newton meters, I believe. All right, we got that set, and we're going to start here, right in the middle. You hear that? That's it. So next one. And I'm doing it in a circle. That's it. Ta-da! All torqued. All ready to rock. Yeah. All right. We're going to start torquing and putting on our phasers. All right. I got the bolts in there already. This is a 14. This is a 17. If I'm not mistaken. Yes. Both of them are torqued the same. They are both going to be 52 foot-pounds and or 70 Newton meters. All right, and they're both the same. So at this point, sorry, let's get the phasers and let's get them put on, and then we'll start torquing. All right. And by the way, you can use a large crescent wrench, or if you have like maybe a 1, I believe it's a 1, and they will fit into the sprocket area on camshafts. And the sprocket area that I am talking about is right there. All right, that is square, and you can get a number 1 and or a large crescent wrench like I have, adjustable wrench, and it'll hold it. All right. Okay. I've already got the intake phaser put on, and I just hand tightened it. All right. So this is what happened to the last camshaft. This pin right there actually lodged into the camshaft, and you can't get it out. So you end up having to replace your camshaft. And what happens is, it's what is called a spin, or your pin has spun. And what that means, it'll kind of lodge in here. Sometimes it'll even break off. You'll have a piece in here and you'll have a piece in there, or this piece will just ring completely out and be here. On the other one, I don't know if you remember, it was probably about inside that far inside the camshaft. So we have a new phaser, new camshaft. We're going to install this like so. And remember, you want to get this pin in that large hole. Okay, so kind of just, eyeball it, line it up a little bit. All right, and when you get it on, now don't force it. Do not force it. Okay, if you want to force that, it's going to cause a problem. Do not do that. Just you slide on just like that, and you can just move it back and forth as you push. Boom, and then you know it's there. All right, done. All right, put your bolt in. And I said before, they are 52 foot-pounds or 70 Newton meters. Okay. I have not set up the torque wrench for that yet, but if you give me a second, I will. All right, just give me a second. All right, I don't think I have showed you. This is a traditional old school torque wrench, or what they would call a click. All right, your numbers will be down here, and you can see it. I believe you can. It'll say torque here in foot-pound, and then if you turn it over, it shows it in Newton meters. All right. Now, the way you read this, you have your tightener here and your adjuster here. We're going to 52, all right? I don't know if you can see it. It's really hard, I'm sorry. But it is 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, and 10. And you just turn it to where you need it, all right? And then on this side, you got 75, 65. These are 10 from 5. 5 is at the bottom. So it'll be 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, and so. On this side, it will be 10, 20, 30, blah, blah, blah. Now, these numbers in here is how you do your adjustment. So we have to go to 52. So our 50 is right there. So we will turn this. And as you see, these little squigglies go to this area right here. We're going to 50. That's 40. And we're not there yet. Okay, so we're just about at 50. Okay, so we're at 50. Now, this is how you read this. Now you see right there, that's the 50 right there, all right? The squiggly line will show it. So with this 0, we are at 50. We want to go to 52, so you turn it like so. There's, it gets tight when it's down in this area. Uh, 52. Right there. It's at 50 and 2. 52 foot-pounds. And you turn your tightener here so it doesn't move, and you're ready to rock. We'll start with this one since we've already got the 14 on. So, and like I said, it was hand tight, so let's do this. There. All right, once you get there, then you know. All right, let's do the, okay, that one's ready already. All right, now let's get to the torquing. All right, not twerking, torquing. All right. There we go. There's it. All right. Now we'll go to the 17. Same torque now. That's it. All you need is that click. Once you hear that click, you're done. Okay? That's it. All right. Woo! And we're just chugging along, aren't we? I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, when this stuff gets timed, this one will be over here. And there's the timing mark on that one right there. I'll, when I get closer, I'll zoom in so you can see a lot better. All right. But new phaser, new camshaft, all torqued. This one was good, so we didn't need to bother. Now we're on to the next step. Got the phasers on. All right, as you can see, there's one mark. There's another mark on this phaser over here. I'll show that to you a little bit afterwards. Well, maybe I can show you now. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. It's a mark there. That, as you can see, that one will go there, and this one would go here. I'll show you another way of doing that in a minute. But what I'm doing right now is putting on the guide that is not movable. It doesn't adjust. It doesn't have an adjuster or anything like that. It's set in place, and that's where it's supposed to be. All right. So as I'm doing this, I got that in. I didn't tighten it. I just hand tightened it. And now I have to go down and make sure that the chain indicator for where it should be to the timing marks on the bottom. I will show that to you once I get it set, and then you'll see what I was talking about. But I do this because I don't have a helper today, so I'm doing this by myself. So, all right, so let's push forward, and this will help you get your tension where you need it to be. We're not going to do that just yet because we have to make sure we move this one. I'm going to put the other side, the actual adjusting side timing chain guide on, and then we will do that. All right, so let me get that. Here, return the boat. All right, now this just goes on the bottom here. Yep, I am all in the way. You can't see any of that. Well, down there is some of the things that I am speaking about. Okay, the chain is going to go not on this one, but on the second thread. And you'll have these loops. And I just have this in here just to be here. I'm gonna tighten this up a little bit more with my hand, and it's that. Now, so I'm gonna show you under the bottom once I get this set, because it's going to be a thing to try to get this to do what I need it to do while I have these things in, because this will go here and that will create tension. This will be here, and these will lock these in place once you get them in place. So you want to get as many marks as you can before you start to tighten anything, because once I get to this area right here, I need to put the tensioner on here, and that will put tension on here, and that will lock this in place wherever it's at. So you want to make sure you're where you need to be before you do that. All right. So I'm going to go down, get that set, then I'll come back up and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've got my timing mark set here, here on that dot, and these are lined up. I got my gray marks on here, and I got my gray mark down there. I just got some pliers here just to hold that tensioner up so I can put the tensioner on. All right, let me put that on real quick before it starts to move on me. I may be in your way, and I am sorry about that, but all right. Got that on, and I'm gonna zip those on before they decide to move on me. And then you probably hear a lot of stuff you don't really want to hear, but we're gonna say that it's not going to be a problem, and then it's going to be fine. So let's be gentle. There. Not sure about this torque specs on this, but I'm almost certain that it's relatively small torque wise. All right, now I can move this out of the way for now. I'll give you a close up on what I'm talking about. Okay, so now I can get you really better shots. Okay, a set of vice grips, not on the lobes, in the middle. Okay, and then you don't have to have them like super tight, just tight enough so they don't move. All right, that way you can get your top aligned, and your actual timing marks are lined up right now, here and that one. All right, so that's done. I've got your guide in here. I just need to tighten these two. I've got your adjuster here. I need to tighten this one, and I'm going to show you down here if I have not made a mistake. Perfect. All right, you see that timing hole right there? That's where it is, right there. And this knot should be straight up at 12 o'clock. That's how it should look. All right. Now, with that being said, I am going to tighten that guide bolt, that one. I'm going to tighten them. Then I'm going to make sure that this is tight. Check this torque specs, and then I'll pull that pin. Once I pull that pin, this automatically shoots out, and it will be tight all over. And then we'll be on another step. All right, so I'm gonna tighten those up, set you back up for the best view you can get, and we'll continue. So, okay, it's all set. All set. All right, I showed you that, and I showed you how to get this. And now what I did not show you is pulling the pin out and taking these off. Before you take your vice grips off and your crescent wrench. Once you get all of your bolts tightened, all right, your pin will still be sitting in here. All right, your pin will be still sitting in here. Push your guide as far as you can up, pull it out, and just push it a couple of times. That pin will come out, it'll be stiff, and then you're set. Now once you're set, you just check your marks, which I did already. Everything is where it needs to be. Yeah, you are set. All right, now you're going to put your get your mating surface ready for your timing chain cover. Okay, you want to make sure that everything is clean, all of your mating surfaces. Make sure everything is clean and dry. Okay, sometimes you might have to do a test fit to make sure that you can get it in without removing all of your gasket maker. So do a couple of test runs. All right, how are you going to get this in? Compressor pump, that will be in your way, so you're going to have to move that. We're going to stop right here because I have to get the O-rings that go on the timing chain cover. I want to replace them, this one and this one. I want to replace them before I put it back on. Everything else is good, so I guess we'll be stopping right here. All right. So I gotta get the compressor out. And I just got a bolt hose in right now. I disconnected the electrical connection and the connection that holds the connection to the compressor. Bunch of connections holding. Yeah. Moved all that. I'm going to take that one bolt out, and then I can move the compressor out of the way, and then I go to test to see if I can get the cover in and how it will get in. I just want to show you this part right here, and I set you up again, different way to see all this other stuff. There you go. All right, real quick, yeah. When I put you guys on hold so I could test run, there was a bunch of other stuff that I did. So, yeah, let me go ahead and show you this real quick. So, I test fitted it, and so I said, okay, well, if I'm gonna test fit it, I might as well see if everything's gonna line up. So, timing markers there lined up. You can barely see it. It's right there. There it is. Yep, right there. And sorry about that. And these marks are also right where they need to be. Oh, come on. The one that's close right. Why am I having a bad day with lighting today? I don't get it. But yeah, right by the, right here, and then the other one is right here. Sprockets are lined up right there. There. All right. And so, and I got way too close. All right. So, like I said, I put that on so I can test fit it. Now I'm gonna take that back off. Take the harmonic balancer off and seal everything after I clean it. One last time. All right. Okay. I got this all prepped up. Go ahead and throw these bad boys in. Yeah, not a regular O-ring, but it's a seal. But yeah, you just press it in. Don't need oil or anything on it. Same thing on this one. It's just a little bit smaller. And there, things are on the inside, but same deal. Press it in place. There you go. Now, we're going to do one final wipe of spray cleaner on this. And then I'll put a bead of gasket maker on that. And I think it would be a smart idea to put the gasket maker down there on the oil pad. If I put it on the bottom of that, I won't see if anything falls off or rubs when I go down. At least that way I know it's there. So I can do it there and make sure I get this corner and that corner. Yeah, I should do that. I've already cleaned this off. I rotated the engine, so I had to clean it off a little bit. Oil came out. I rotated the engine twice and watched it come back up, and it's lined up. There you go. Boom. There you go. And my pen is sticking straight up. So yep, that's it. So let's get some gasket maker on this stuff and get this puppy sealed. Alright? Yeah. Alright, the mosquitoes are starting to come out. This is going to make this very agitating. I know it's not ideal lighting now. Blame it on the mosquitoes. Oh. Alright, so I already got the sealing on. So let's see if we can get this in here like we did before. Alright, without taking off any of this sealant. Go in sideways. So far, so good. We'll get about halfway. Once this lip goes through here, we're going to kind of lean it towards the engine. And darn mosquito. Oh, they're going to get me. Oh, they're on me. Oh, the engine went down. Oh, I gotta take it back out. Now I gotta make sure it gets out on the bottom. There we go. That's that. Yeah. Now we can start putting bolts back in. These are the bolts and where they go inside. I just lined them up here, so if I was to stand this up, I could look at it that way. I'll be reaching over, grabbing and putting them in as we talk. As I said, these mosquitoes are not liking the fact that I want to do something. So, and I gotta hurry up and start to zip these on because you want this to dry. Let's try this again. Okay, let's go on this side there. Let's put that back. Alright, bye. Bye. I'm just tightening them up just to get them close enough. Okay, now everything is in. All bolts tightened. Top. And bottom. And dun, 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 oil pan. Make sure you get those two. Alright. Alright, so all that's done. Next, I guess we'll put our harmonic balancer on and torque that. And then we will put our compressor back. Torque that. Then we will come up top because we will be done with everything on the bottom. Then we will put our water pump in. Then we will put our tensioner on here, right here. Then we will get the alternator put on right here in this area. And then we will be ready to put our valve cover on. And then connect up all of our electrical connections that we had not hooked up at that point. Put our horn back. And yeah, that'll be it. So I'm gonna set you up and get you where you can see what you can. All right. Okay. So we've got the tensioner in. We've got the water pump in. We've got the air compressor in. And our harmonic balancer on. I'm gonna put our alternator and idler pulley on right now, and yeah, we just chug it along. Yeah. Like I said, I'm sorry I couldn't get you in while I was doing this, but the problem is I would be moving all around and I would knock into it. And since I don't have anybody filming with me today, so. This is it. Sorry. Alright, so let me finish chugging along and yeah. Well, you know what? I think I could probably get you in for the alternator. Hold on. Okay. We've got our alternator in now. And I'm just doing the plugs right now. Getting everything that's hooked up in that area taken care of so we don't have to come back or say we forgot. All right. There's that. That Vanos timing solenoid. This is gonna go to that one. Okay, so everything over here is buttoned up, tight, and ready to roll. All I gotta do now is put the belt. Tighten this up. Let's get that 50. Be very careful when you're doing that. These things will slip off and man, you all down there, knuckles all tore up. So be careful. 14. All right, I got the belt on. Got all that taken care of, and all of that good stuff. Like, yeah. Okay, so all right. At this point, yeah, all this stuff is put on. Yeah. Oh, it's time for the motor mount and then the horn. Yeah. Here we go. Instead of taking them off, you just leave them on together. Yep. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Most of the time it does. And yeah. So we're just gonna put these on for now, just to hold it in place. Easier to do things easily, like that. So I'm gonna get this one started, just the one. See? And once you push it, it will allow you to get right there. Let it down a little bit. Let's see if that helped. Oh, perfect. Just a little snug. Nothing too drastic. Good. Brand new. With gaskets and everything. I've already installed both the new camshaft position sensors. So, yeah, let's do a quick wipe down. So, let's get the bad boy in here. Pretty self-explanatory. How do we make the wood happen? We finagle. We figure out something and we make it work. So, we just go backwards. Go from back here. Start where you know that the hole is made. And there's no cross threading. Just put your bolts in by hand. Don't want to go down too fast, because there seems to be a slight fitment problem. So I want to make sure that I can get the bolts to go in correctly and not cross thread. I don't want to force anything, but walking it down always works. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to walk it down. There we go. All right. Everybody's happy. All right. First things first, we'll start in the middle. In the middle, out, and same way we did on the rocker arms and the bridges. So you go in first because you got this one, and this one, and that one. All right. So let's do this one first. That one's in the back. I'm tired. Here. There. And there. Now all you do is snug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There. Let's put this in. Back on. that in. And pull that back out of there. Now let's do it. Let's get that back on. Come on. There. Pliers, where are you, pliers? Let's see. Needle nose will do just fine. Okay. Well, that's hooked up. I didn't. Okay. These are for your ignition coils. Put those right there like that. That's everything else. Everything on the front is done. Except for this, which now can go over here and plug up like that. And this will plug in here, like so. This will go in there. This will go in there. Let's get this horn in here. $10mm. Good and tight is good enough. Alright. Plug it up. Boom, there's that. Now your strap. That's your negative connecting strap.
Alright, Warriors. We're back for the last and final on the Kia Forte. I've already put everything in. I got all of the spark plugs and the coils put on. I filled the coolant and fresh oil, new oil filter. So I'm gonna go ahead and first start. All right, let's see what happens. There we go. First start, no problem so far. Ready for it to idle down a little bit more. There it goes. There we go. That went out. Now we just let it run for about a good 10-15 minutes. And everything just meshed together with the new stuff. And then we're going for a test run. So yeah. Okay. Part of the final voyage. This is the check. The car was stated not to have power. Alright, so we are going to see if this is enough. Alright, we're nice and clear. We're going to take off and that's power. it's a 2.0. Not to say this, you know, but shifting fine, everything. No check engine lights, and I'm really pressing it. So yeah, I believe we are done here, guys. On our way back. Oh man, you guys might hear a lot. I forgot the window was up. Sorry. Window down. Oh, sorry. Forgot I didn't have my mic on. Whoa. Alright. Oh. Well, there's the 7 and there's the X. Yeah. We'll be getting some more content on those shortly. Actually, the 7 is probably going to be the next thing. I need some things done on it. Let's get this back inside. Like a glove. All right. Yes. No check engine lights. No nothing. I like it.